What is going on YouTube? It's Kaleo here, and I'm bringing you guys not really a deck. This is the first time I'm doing something other than a deck, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's going to be good next format, and basically what everyone else is talking about. Um, basically, I'm titling this "How to Beat the Format" or "What to Expect Next Format." The basically, there's three decks that people are saying are going to be really good, so I want to talk about those and kind of give you guys my input on the decks. So we'll get straight to it. First of all, we will start off with agents. Alright, I don't have any agent cards because I don't play agents. I don't really care for them. I think the main reason why people are looking at agents as being so strong is because they did not get hit by the ban list at all. So that has to help them out a lot. Obviously, plants and six Sams were really big last format, and I mean agents were pretty big too, but they didn't get hit at all, which is actually pretty surprising since they didn't win Worlds and they were wrecking the OCG meta. But agents are definitely still pretty good. Personally, I don't really have a problem with them. I play Monarch, so game ones are almost they're almost automatic wins for me because they would try to swarm out, and even if they get Christia, I do have outs to Christia. Like if they drop it, I have like a Raikou or I usually save my Dark Holes. Save your Dark Holes for when they swarm out. Soul Exchange, stuff like that. But that's my take on agents, really. They're still definitely going to be good. They're probably one of the best decks right now. People are saying they're the best of the top three right now. I don't know. I mean, it's really, I guess, what you guys are playing and the matchups and everything. But that's agents are one deck. The second deck would have to be Lightsworns. Now, Lightsworns are incredibly hyped right now because they gain a third JD. They gain this guy, BLS, and so did Agents. Agents gain Blacklisted Soldier too. But Lightsworns, they gain JD, they gain Blacklisted Soldier, so they gain essentially two win conditions for boss monsters. And they also gain another Necro Gardener and a Trag. So more than Lightsworns, I would say Twilight is definitely going to be a little better because they got more defense, and with Envoy at the beginning, you could also run this guy in there. So you could essentially run those. You could also run a Dark Arm in Twilights, which makes them really good. Personally, I think the deck is overhyped a little bit. Depending on how you play against Lightsworns, if you wait for them to swarm out and you stop them with a Gorge or a Trag or even a Battle Fader for if you want to tech those in, unless you're playing Monarchs, which most people aren't anymore. But I think Lightsworns are overhyped because they're still inconsistent. The main engine of that deck would have to be Charge and Lumina. And until you put Charge to 2 or Lumina to 2, it's still going to be an inconsistent deck. You're still going to open up with only boss monsters sometimes. You're going to open up with Wolf, 2JD, BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, shit like that's going to happen. Or even a Necro in your hand. So then you're going to want to, set it, because that's the only thing you can do, and it's going to get Caiused, or it's going to get removed from Blacklisted Soldier. I don't know. There's so many things I see going wrong with that deck that I do think it's going to be good, but I think it's going to be just a little better than it was last format. I don't see gaining JD and BLS as being incredibly life-changing to that deck. I still think it's going to have inconsistencies. So that's my take on that deck. Next up, zombies. They're saying that zombies are going to be really good, and I have to agree. I feel like zombies are going to be pretty damn good. To put it in a way that's relative to last format, I feel like zombies are going to be the plants of this format, where they won't necessarily be the best deck out there, but I mean plants were definitely the best deck, but the way you play them, I feel like zombies has a lot of similarities to plants. They do need a little bit of a setup, but they can just go herp derp and spam Xyz and synchros with just off of a couple of cards. So, Pain Painter and Blue Blooded Oni, I don't feel like those cards are going to be relative in the competitive builds. But I've seen those builds. Those builds are pretty cool if you want to run those. But zombies are definitely worth noting. Yeah, so that's what they're saying the top 3 is right now. Pretty solid. I guess I could understand why they're saying that. I can't think of much other decks that are gonna beat those decks for now. But main thing is not necessarily Sangan because I don't have Tour Guide. But this card is the reason why those decks are so freaking strong now. And Sangan, of course, because that's the main purpose of Tour Guide. Opening up with Tour Guide gives almost every deck now so much consistency. If you go first and you open up Tour Guide, you essentially shut down the other your opponent's Tour Guide play because you're going to search for your effect failure unless you're playing something else. But that's almost what you search for every time. So yeah, Tour Guide is definitely going to be the card of the format. It's freaking ridiculous in price right now. It's like going close to $200 for one of them. So yeah, if you don't have it like I do, you're pretty much screwed because you will be playing almost every deck with Tour Guide. Now, if you want to recap, agents, they can run Tour Guide, and running 3 Tour Guides and a Sangan gives them your BLS play. So that's how you get BLS out in that deck. As for Lightsworns, that's freaking a given. They're all lights and darks anyways, and Tour Guide gives them way more consistency because by dropping Tour Guide first, you search your Sangan out for either. I would have to go Lumina if you already have an effect failure and stuff like that. So many consistent plays with that deck. Also, another consistent play you could do, instead of going into Leviathan Dragon, you could go into this guy. Now, the main purpose of going into him is if you played Gold Sharks. I would probably play 2 Gold Sharks, maybe in Zombies especially, because you could first turn go into Leviar. After you Gold Shark, special summon that card that you removed with Leviar's effect, and go off from there. So Leviathan Dragon and Leviar, this card is just ridiculous right now. I really don't know what else to say about that, but this card is going to be the defining card of this format for the next 6 months at least. I could see it being around until they change that ruling where for XEs, that card's freaking ridiculous. So yeah, that's the main thing about those 3 top decks, is that Tour Guide is going to be played in all 3 of those decks, and essentially almost every deck. But those decks I think are the decks that they benefit the most from Tour Guide because they give your puzzle pieces for your combos and stuff like that. But essentially, any deck that runs Tour Guide is going to be very, very good just because of that first turn play. And even those late game plays when you don't have when you've gone into Sangan already, you can still go into Tour Guide and get your rank 3 XCs out. So very, very strong card. If you're gonna play competitively and you hope to win, I would definitely suggest you guys picking up those cards, even if it's really expensive. But honestly, you kind of don't have a choice. I don't play competitively. I don't go to tournaments, so that's why I'm fine without it. I would love to have them because it is that good, and it looks really cool. But yeah, it's kind of shitty, but that's the way Yu-Gi-Oh is right now. But I'm running kind of late right now, so I'm gonna mention some rogue decks. First off, plants are dead. Yeah, I don't think so. Plants are not dead by any means because of Tour Guide. If you noticed at Nationals, a lot of deck lists ran 2 or 3 Tour Guides with Tengus. The plant engine is hurt, but Tour Guide just gives every deck more consistency. It makes every deck playable almost. So plants, I definitely don't feel are dead at all. Good players, it just forces good players to play it better. And yeah, you guys are going to be surprised when you see plants showing up next format. But they're going to win. Don't make any mistake about that. Next, Samurai. Samurai are not dead either. Sheehan down to 1 and Smoke Signal down to 1. It definitely does hurt the deck's consistency, and it does kind of hurt the main purpose of the deck, which is the spam Shein and everything. But look at it this way: you do have Trishula. You can go into decisive armor and stuff like that with that deck. And the most important thing is that you can still spam Xyz, and including myself, everyone seems, now that we've lost smoke signal, everyone's going to the asceticism build, and that build is pretty much meant for Xyz, because you're going to get your rank 3s and your rank 4s out if you play asceticism and you already have your Shein on the board. So samurai aren't dead at all. It's just going to be a lot harder to play. I could definitely see this deck topping big events. Maybe not top 4, probably top 8 and top 16s though. I don't know. It's not a bad deck at all. Still, it is hurt, but it's still gonna top. Guarantee it. Next up, D-Draw is at 2, so you know Destiny Heroes are gonna make a comeback. Everyone loves Destiny Heroes. I love Destiny Heroes. I love playing against them because one of my good friends loves Absolute Zero, Destiny Hero stuff. So I was actually thinking about making this deck myself, making a variant. But this deck is going to be good. I mean, it's always been good. It's just got a little more consistency. And especially now you can abuse Diamond Dude a little bit more. Just that much more. By going at Diamond Dude effect into a D-Draw. So definitely be looking out for Destiny Heroes. Of course, those decks are also going to be playing Tour Guide. Duh. Actually, I think the only deck that I'm going to mention that doesn't need Tour Guide will be Samurai. Samurai does no need for Tour Guide. Sorry. But, yeah, so that. Infernities, I don't have any Infernity cards, I forgot to bring one, but Infernities are still good too because of Tour Guide. Because if you don't play Sangan, they can always go into their Necromancer plays with Tour Guide. So, Infernities are definitely really good. And another thing to mention is that, with Heavy Storm back, Infernities really like not going up against 5 back rows. So you're going to see a lot more Infernity players too. And my last deck would be Monarchs. Formula Monarchs are definitely dead because you can't spam Formula Monarch 3 turns, 4 turns in a row anymore. But Monarchs are still a good deck. Like, Caius's removal is amazing. Rise's spin effect gets rid of freaking every Xyz and pretty much every Xyz and every Synchro monster still. They're still a good deck, like really. If you play frogs, I'm not a fan of the frogs, but the frog builds, they're still going to be consistent. They're still going to get your Treeborn in the grave. The problem with that, of course, everyone knows is that Treeborn is their only play. Lad's going to be really good because there's going to be a lot of normal spells. You're going to force your opponent to waste spells and everything. And monster effects, Lad's going to shut those down because you don't have your traps to chain anymore, really. And another thing you guys may not realize, but Tour Guide, again, it's a common theme. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Tour Guide can help Monarchs out too, because going into your first turn, Leviathan Dragon, and pitching your Sangan, for your Swap Frog. If you already have, it gives that deck even more consistency. Allows you, maybe you can start playing Dark Arm if you have Grave Control. Play a Dark Arm and play that guy. You have 2 Effect Failures. Basically, that's the rule, it seems. If you're running 2 Effect Failures and the shitload of Darks, run this guy because you're going to get him out somehow. But, yeah, so that's my take on the meta so far. What to expect from everything. Like I said, that card is the best card ever right now. It's way better than Duality was last format. But, yeah, and it's a TCG exclusive, so we're not getting that reprint for a while. But yeah, so that's my take on this format, guys. What to expect. If I missed anything, let me know. But, I mean, this pretty much covers it, I think. So, this is just part 1. I'm going to be doing another discussion later, so look out for that. But until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out, guys.